Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the pit here in Quincy, Illinois. It's time for IHSA Class 2A volleyball, one of the biggest matchups in the state all season long, and it's, I would venture a guess, is the biggest one of the night. It's the Macomb High Bombers in town to face off against the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Peyton Hutchins is alongside, and we have had all kinds of issues tonight, Peyton. But I think, of course I said this before, I think we've got it settled now. If you saw the freshman game, it was not good. We started late, had some internet issues. Thought we had them figured out. Started the fresh soft game, started off okay, and then it just went to heck in a handbasket.
Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of issues so far. It's here tonight. But with that being said, the varsity game, we should be all good to go. And like you said, Dwayne, we are set for a great matchup here tonight.
Yeah, people wonder why I like to do the fresh soft contest and sometimes the freshman game like we did tonight, just for situations like that, right? You get a chance to work through your problems. Hopefully now the varsity match will be good. I want to say a special thank you to all the folks at QND, especially the high school principal, who was nice enough to set us up with what would normally be the Raiders Sports Network's solid Ethernet signal cable. So we're on that right now. We're on solid wired internet, got great internet. We should be good to go the rest of the night. So I want to send a special thank you to them as well. They've been nothing but hospitable, and we changed everything. So if you watched the end of the JV contest, you saw the match. We talked, but in the move, I forgot to hook up the audio. So there was no audio on the back of the JV contest, but you could see what the video was quite a bit better. Now, Bombers come in tonight undefeated. The Raiders come in as one of the best teams in the area as well. These two have seen themselves and seen each other in sectional play the last few years or in postseason. I guess last year technically it was the regionals. Then the year before it was a sectional final. So they're familiar with each other. It's quite the rivalry. The last time the Bombers were here, they got to win. The Raiders got them in the sectional final, however. This is a match that matters for you as far as moving forward the rest of the year.
100%, Dwayne. They've split the last 2 years, so they're 2-2 against each other in the last 4. And odds are you're probably going to see this team again in the postseason. So it's a great way just to kind of see where everyone's at, and I'm excited for tonight.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. We're just about the end, working towards the end of warm-ups. The final 6 minutes of warm-ups is on the clock. We came on a little early so that we could talk about this match. You got to see what the Raiders bring to the table. Now you're seeing a little bit of what the Bombers bring to the table. Raiders have a little more height, but the Bombers are as solid across the front row hitting-wise. I don't know if they're quite probably as good blocking, but hitting-wise, you're not going to see a more solid team than what Macomb brings to the table. Yeah,
based on what I'm watching in warm-ups, you know, like you mentioned, you know, they got the jumps. QND has more height, but I think it's going to be a great matchup. And Macomb, just like you said, they look athletic and solid.
We will see how things turn out. When Macomb won here a couple years ago, they were not expected to be the winners. I don't know if you would expect them to be the winners right now. The funny thing is you look down through the list of Quincy Notre Dame Raiders, and Annie Eaton, she's back as a setter. If you remember the rally that the Bombers and the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders had at Washington Street Gym last year, and a win by the Raiders in the regular season that we called, it was a 45-second or a minute-long rally. Phenomenal, great saves. Annie Eaton was part of that. Some names you're going to see that you didn't see before. Madeline Boyer, a name that people recognize if you watched TSSR Game Time Live a lot last year. She's a middle hitter. She'll be a key. She was an Illini West player last year. She transferred into Quincy Notre Dame this year to bolster their middle. So, you know, there's names that people recognize. You see the Eva Breckenkamp, she's back, an outside hitter. Gittenbacher, a name you always see. There's just names that you see and have been here and will continue to be here, I'm sure, through the years as the families progress. But Annie Eaton, one of the best setters in the area. So we've got two great setters with Quinn Rexroad on the Bombers side, Annie Eaton on the Raiders side. And anytime you can get good setting, which needs good passing, and we talked about that as we watched the freshman match a little bit tonight, it seemed like serve, receive, and passing was the problem that both teams had. If they could serve, receive, and this happened last night to Havana, if you can receive the serve and make one good pass to start, it completely changes how the point goes for a team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, starting off with the reception, if it's not going to be good, your offense is already kind of discombobulated. And so with that being said, you know, being able to have good ball control, we saw it in the JV game a couple times where the ball was hitting the top of the ceiling. Like, just ball control is going to be huge tonight for both sides, and the team with less errors is going to be in a better spot.
Yeah, it's funny that no matter what sport you talk about, right, Peyton, and you were a manager on Western's basketball team last year. You played high school basketball. You're working in the sports information office at Western, so you're seeing all kinds. It always, or almost always, comes back to errors, doesn't it? It doesn't matter what sport it is.
No, yeah, absolutely. You know, playing without mistakes just sets your team up for so much more success, and it all has to do with preparation too. A lot of the times when all these errors were being committed at WIU, they weren't focused. They weren't ready to go. So the better focused team tonight will make the less errors.
One of the best parts of this rivalry is the student sections. You can see on the far side, maybe you can see it, the Quincy Notre Dame student section. You won't be able to see the Bomber student section too well. It's still filling in. It's down here to the lower right. We just saw a few Bombers, I believe Connor Watson and friends, hopping in. As you can see, the Quincy Notre Dame section on the far side over there. They're already pumped up, and we're still a minute 40 away from the start of this one. We'll take a quick break. Actually, we'll keep it here and talk a little bit. We will take a break during the national anthem unless it's going to be sung or played by somebody local, as we don't want to get the YouTubes against us. So as you see both teams now starting to serve, and we talk about errors, when teams, the better teams get, the more they look for things to push the envelope a little bit, right? Serving is one of those things. A game like tonight, you want to push the envelope because the other team's good, but you have to keep serves in, don't you, Peyton?
Yes, and not only that, when you're talking about being aggressive, there's a certain type of aggressive you got to play with. You don't want to be overly aggressive. We saw kind of in the JV game, Quincy Notre Dame came out aggressive, and they weren't too aggressive. They were just enough aggressive. Like on the overs, they were just hitting it right away, and they were doing good. So being aggressive but not being too aggressive is going to be key tonight.
Yes, serving aggressively but keeping it within your strengths. And the overpass that comes to the net, and Ned Eckert likes to call that feeding the bear. You feed the bear, and the bear's there, and bears tend to just go after stuff. And what you were talking about, they were good about controlling the attack. And that sometimes you get so excited. It's like it's like a plate of that cake that we got from John Burton earlier for a fat guy like me. You just want to dig in and go after it. You have to have some restraint, right? Same kind of deal. They did that in the JV contest. Both teams serve well enough and pass well enough and hit well enough to put the opposite team into those problems occasionally. Who can respond and have control in those situations will be key.
Yeah, not only that, also on the defensive end for both sides, they can't get caught ball watching. When you get caught ball watching, bad things tend to happen.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. They'll do the national anthem. We'll come back after that. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And it's going to be the Quincy Notre Dame Choir singing, so we will let you folks try to hear that. national anthem rendition by the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders choir. That's as good of a rendition as you're going to hear, I think, Peyton.
Yeah, that's not very, you don't see that very often. So with high school, that's always something cool as a high school doing that.
I don't know who the announcer is, but he's out in the middle of the floor and telling the crowd to have fun. So we'll let you hear that starting lineup.
Number 8, Quinn Rexroth. Number 1, Catherine McCarran. Number 15, Kelly Ladd. Number 4, Jackie Adair. Number 11, Kate Stortson. Number 17, Madeline McClure. Number 2, Kylie Robinson. The Macomb Bombers are coached by Brianna Rexroth, assistant coaches Hillary Hughes, Cora Horrell, and Marcy Lance. And now, the Quincy Notre Dame starting out with a 25-2 record. Number 4, setter Annie Eaton. Number 16, outside hitter Nora Wiley. Number 11, middle hitter Eva Breckenridge. Number 15, outside hitter Tristan Bieber. Number 10, defensive specialist Sydney Entrum. Number 1, middle hitter Madeline Boyer. And your libero, number 5, Courtney Kay. Let's get loud!
Well, they're out here having some fun tonight. That's more exciting than you're going to see at most college campuses right there.
Yeah, that gave me goosebumps actually. And, you know, the crowd here tonight, it's just an electric atmosphere in here, Dwayne.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, that is for sure, and it should be a great matchup. We mentioned Madeline Boyer wearing number 18. She's actually wearing number 1. She'll be the second middle for the Raiders as they go shake hands. Both teams shaking hands with their respective student sections, and out onto the floor they come. A pair of number 1s, a couple number 2s. Should be a lot of fun. 2 of the best in the state of Illinois getting ready to fire it up right here at the pit in Quincy, Illinois, at Quincy Notre Dame High School. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Peyton Hutchins is alongside. He'll be running the camera and giving some help along the way. It should be a ton of fun if the student sections have anything to say about it alone, let alone what the volleyball looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. We can already tell it's going to be an electric night. Both student sections are loud. This is going to be a fun one.
This place is loud. There is no doubt about it. The liberos waiting to come in. Kylie Robinson, number 2, replaces Madeline McClure. And waiting to come in for the Raiders, number 5, Courtney Keck. We'll see who she replaces. Almost has to be Madeline Boyer, I would imagine, as she's the only one not a defensive specialist in the back row. And no, she's actually going to replace number 10, Sydney Entrup, who I thought they listed as a defensive specialist, but they've got her as an outside hitter. My apologies. So the setter for the Raiders going back to start things off. It's Annie Eaton to start things off for the Raiders. Here we go. We're underway with the swerve, and there is a hit by Lucanen right off the bat. It's going to be dug up. A free ball is going to come across by Entrup. set, back, slide, Ladd, kill, sports corner kill for Kelly Ladd, side out Bombers.
Nice job right there by the Macomb offense, going across the court, catching Quincy Notre Dame off guard, scoring the point early.
Stortzum takes a seat. Jordan Hines checks in. Quinn Rexroth back to serve. The Bombers lead early here, 1-0 in the start of this big matchup, and Rexroth sails that one well out the back of the court. Going back to serve for the Raiders going to be number 16, Nora Wiley, an outside hitter. Getting ready to check in for the libero. Number 5 will be Intrip. Number 10, she'll check out. Checking into the front row, number 12. That is not on my roster. I'm going to pretend it's a number 12 somewhere. I don't have a 12 anywhere, so we'll try to figure out who that is. Problems on the serve receive. Punched across. The Bombers keep it alive. Adair, Rexroth, out the field. Out to Hines, excuse me. It's going to be saved back in and into the nets. Bombers get a side out, 2-1.
Great job right there by Macomb. You know, they got out of sorts to start off. They were able to keep it alive and score the point right there.
Catherine Lukarinen checking back to serve. So it'll be Hines, Ladd, and Adair in the front row for the Bombers. Rexroth setting, and there's Kelly Ladd on that overpass we were talking about. It's going to come near side, hit out of bounds, no touch. The attack by number 11, Eva Breckenkamp, is a hitting error, and it's a point for the Bombers. The first offensive point for the Bombers goes to Catherine Lukarinen. She will be a Bad Boy Mowers Athlete of the Week, presented by Ronabe Auto Sales a little bit later in the week. There's a tip across and down, a kill for Tristan Pieper. And we are 3-2 Bombers with the libero, number 5, Courtney Keck, going back to serve for the Raiders. Keck serving with her team down by 1. Serves across, dug by Adair. Rexroth going to go back to Hines, tipped across. Keck is there. It's going to be punched across and dug up. That was in the back row. Rexroth on the dig. Now a back row attack. Dug by Rexroth again. They're out of system. Now Adair on the attack. Off the block and down. Jackie Adair gets a sports corner kill and a side out for the Bombers.
A good placement right there by Adair. Quincy Notre Dame tried to go for the block. The hands moved at the last second and scored a point for the Bombers.
I want to say hi to Lynn Dunk watching in the live chats and hopping in there. Hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from. And a second service error for the Bombers. It's 4-3, and 2 of the Raiders' points have come on Bombers' service errors. One by Rexroth, one by Robinson. In to serve for the Raiders is Ashley Peters, a defensive specialist. She wears number 7. Her team down by 1. Here comes another jump serve from the right side. Robinson is there. Rexroth back to Hines, the lefty from the right side. An overpass. It's going to hit the net, out of bounds. It hits the post. I thought it was going to go over. It did not. Hines is going to get a sports corner kill, her first. Going back to serve will be Kate Stortzum. Want to say hi to the Stortzums who are here from Pennsylvania watching Kate this week. Awesome to have them. They came up and said hi. They watch all the games, so wanted to say hi to them, even though they can't hear me at the moment. Thanks for coming up and saying hi. There's Kate Stortzum's serve. It's dug, middle, hit, Boyer, dug, Rexroth. What are they?
I believe they called a net error on the Bombers.
Oh, okay. So Boyer does not get the kill. It wasn't going to be a kill. It was an error. That was a big hit by Madeline Boyer. Going back to serve, going to be number 10 for the Raiders, Sydney Intrip. She serves it across. Adair went to get it. Not a good pass. Rexroth tracks it down. Lukarinen sends it across. Keck is there. Eaton sets out. Big time block by the Bombers. It's going to fall. It is Madeline McClure with a huge hit on the attack by number 16, Nora Wiley. And the Bombers get the side out. Back to serve will be Jackie Adair. Let's serve ace for the Bombers.
Yeah, good spot right there for the Bombers. Just getting it barely over the net, falling right in front of the back row. perfect placement.
Adair back to serve it up again. An overpass. A jousting match at the net. Dug up by Robinson. Back row from Adair. It'll drop. A back row. A sports corner kill for Jackie Adair, and the Bombers lead 8-4. Jackie Adair, while serving, getting the kill as well. And Entrup is going to leave. Checking in, going to be number 20, Bridget Bokey, possibly for the Raiders. Another let serve. That one is dug. Back row, nope, it's a front row attack, but an out-of-bounds attack on a cross-court hit by Boyer. It's 9-4 Bombers as Adair has served 3 straights. Thank you for hopping, Nick K, in the live chat. That time, Keck with it on the left side of the court. Here comes Wiley. He's going to drive it down inside the block. Nora Wiley gets the kill for the Raiders, stops the bleeding and gets the serve back. Her team trailing by 4 at 9-4. Going back to serve will be the Illini West transfer, Madeline Boyer. Boyer serving it up now for the Bombers, or for the Raiders. Just a standing serve, but she is so tall. Back row attack Adair, and she just flat missed that one. A hitting error went up about 4 rows into the bleachers on the left side. You do not see that very often from Jackie Adair, and it's a point for the Raiders and Madeline Boyer.
Yeah, Dwayne, that's the 4th error in this set.
9-6 the score. They've got 10-6 on the score. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're all right. I was going to say 4 or 5 errors so far for Macomb out of Notre Dame, 6 points.
So Rexroth gets the tip kill there. Her first, and she'll go, nope, it's going to be number 16, Westerhold, Emily Westerhold, the junior, coming back to serve for the Bombers. It is 11-6. I missed a point there. Dallas Shootman is in the live chat. Good to see you, buddy. I was talking last night. That must be why you told me you were here. There's Wiley on the attack. It's blocked by Kelly Ladd, and the Bombers get another point, this time with Westerhold serving.
Yeah, Macomb's defense has been lights out so far, having their 3rd block of the set to extend the lead.
Westerhold serves it up again. Her team up 12-6. Boyer, not a good pass, but they're going to get to it. Wiley on the attack. That might have been touched. It was not. It's a hitting error for Wiley, and the Bombers force a timeout, 13-6. Another point for Emily Westerhold, another hitting error for the Raiders. We'll take a break as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
And welcome back. A little bit of view of the student section. Not a good angle for us here for the Bombers student section. We'll show you some more of the QND student section in just a minute as the deal is lighting up here in Quincy, Illinois, as it's Westerhold serving again. Another struggle with the pass. Keck is going to send a free ball across. Westerhold's there. Rexroth back on a slide to Ladd. She punches it across. Eaton now a quick in the middle to Wiley. Tipped up. That's not Wiley, excuse me. That was Breckenkamp. On the attack and driving it home, Nora Wiley. And she says, as she turns around and says, it's time to get this show pointed in the right direction. And Peyton, that was a big hit by Nora Wiley.
Yeah, QND did a good job of keeping the play alive, and a nice set by the setter allowed for that hard hit attack.
Speaking of the setter, she's going back to serve now. Annie Eaton back to serve. Robinson just getting to that, but a passing error for Catherine Lukanen. And that looked like one of those deals where you maybe just take your eye off of it, Peyton, for a split second, or the ball was floating on her and she just missed Judge left it short, and Robinson comes diving in but can't get it. 2 aces in a row for Annie Eaton, and here come the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders coach calling a timeout there, now on a 3-0 run. Good timeout there by coach to settle our team down.
Eaton serves it up again. Adair was there. Rexroth to Lucarin, an overpass. Loud is there. Overpass again. Pushed over into the net, and it's going to fall. Rexroth is going to get a sports corner kill. It wasn't pretty, but it's sufficient, and the Bombers get the side outs.
Dwayne, like we talked about in pregame, being aggressive and not too aggressive right there. The perfect type of aggressive for Macomb resulted in a point.
Keeping it reals on with us. Dallas, it's pretty easy to get excited in a match like this, let me tell you. And that is Rexroth serving. A block by the Bombers!
Another perfectly timed block by Macomb.
Jordan Hines gets that one. Rexroth got the service point. We talked about it. The block may not be as good for the Bombers, and another service error for Macomb. They lead 15-10 though, but 3 service errors have got 3 of the 10 points and a couple hitting errors. Half the Raiders' points have come on Bombers hitting errors.
Yeah, if Macomb just eliminates some of these mistakes, they're up by 7 or 8 points.
Back to serve is Nora Wiley. She wears number 16. Serves up the jump serve. Lucarinen's there. Rexroth comes to Lucarinen. She drives one off of Wiley up to the ceiling. Tipped across. What a job to tip that across by number 11, Breckenkamp. Now it's going to be on the attack. That's number 12. As we said, we don't have a number 12 on our roster. Breckenkamp tips it across. It's punched up, dug up. Lucarinen on the attack. Drops down. Boyer's there. Eaton has to save it back. What a job by Breckenkamp to bring that across. And she's going to get a kill. And man, what a job. Breckenkamp, Peyton was behind herself when she hit that.
Yeah, not only that, but before, this setter kept that play alive, not going into the net, tipping it out for Breckenkamp to get the kill. Great job by QND.
A one-hand save set, and Wiley gets the service point. Now here's Hines going to knock it across. Dug up, Eaton, slide, and down it goes for Breckenkamp. Eva Breckenkamp gets her second kill.
Yeah, Breckenkamp with the perfectly placed ball right there with a little tip kill just over the front row of Macomb.
And an ace for Wiley. And the Bombers are going to take a timeout. It's 15-13, 3 straight by Nora Wiley and the Raiders. And the Raiders student section is loving it over on the far side. We'll keep it here, and we'll tell you this game being brought to you in part tonight by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided a greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. And Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, Andy, or Chris, or visit www.ronlb.com to check out their inventory. So, both teams heading back out on the court now. The Raiders are already there. The Bombers have come out to meet them now. It's 15-13, a 3-point run, make it a 4-point run, including the side out for the Raiders. And the Bombers, Peyton, need a side out right here.
Yeah, out of the timeout for QND, they went on a little run. Let's see if Macomb do the same.
That was touched, but it's going to be down. Breckenkamp's going to get the block. I'll give her a block. I'm not sure if that was really a kill or a block. We'll give her a block. And it's a 1-point game. A 5-0 run for the Raiders. Wiley with her 4th straight service point. Lucarinen drives it home and off of Wiley. A sports corner kill for Catherine Lucarinen. And the Bombers build the lead back to 2.
Another great job by Macomb, sticking with it. Good set by the setter, resulting in that Macomb point.
Lucanen back to serve now for the Bombers. Deep serve. Wiley takes it. Eaton sets, pushed across. Rexroth's there. They're out of system. Bump set. Robinson punched across or tied to by Hines, and it'll fall short of hitting there. And it's a point for the Raiders. Keck going back to serve for Quincy Notre Dame. Her team down by 1, 16-15. Robinson struggles again, and an ace as it rolls up Robinson's arm. And just like that, we're tied at 16.
Yeah, a little miscommunication right there by Macomb. Allowed for this game to be tied. Not sure who was going for the second hit.
An overpass. Boyer missed it. It was dug up and pushed out, and Lucanen dug it anyway. It was going out of bounds. Robinson sends a free ball across. Eaton, middle, nope. Second middle, dug up by Rexroth. Adair on the attack, dug. Back row attack coming from Wiley, out of bounds.
Yeah, the second time, the back row able to recognize that ball was going out, and instead of going to dig it again, they let it go out to take the lead here late in the first set.
17-16. Kylie Robinson back to serve. Deep middle, Keck is there. Nice pass to Eaton. It's going to go to, that's number 15, Pieper. She's blocked by Madeline Boyer, or Madeline McClure, excuse me. And she gets her second block, and the Bombers get another point. Kylie Robinson gets her first service point. That's out of bounds, another service error, and it's 18-17. Raiders trailing by 1. Ashlyn Peters coming in to serve. Want to say hi to Chris Dewar, who's in the house tonight. KHQA, I'm sure, will have a big spread on this one this evening at the 10 o'clock news, so make sure you check that out. Doug punched across. Eaton drops it down. What a dump kill for Eaton. That was as hard of a dump kill as you're going to see from a setter. She dropped it right about the circle. Eaton gets the kill. And Peters gets the service point. We're tied at 18. Robinson back to Hines from Rexroth. Dug by Peters. Middle. Nope, nobody there.
Yeah, that time a little miscommunication on QND's end, allowing Macomb to take back the lead.
I'm trying to decide if that was miscommunication or misset, because it actually went straight up and right straight back down to her. And I don't know if what she was trying to do, I don't think it worked quite well for her. Maybe more of a setting problem. Stortzum on the serve, and Boyer on the kill. Yeah, and we're tied at 19.
That time Boyer able to just find the middle of the defense, and nobody was there to tie this set up at 19.
Back in to serve, number 10, Sydney Introp, with her team tied at 19 with the Bombers. They were down by as many as 6. Adair, another struggle with the pass. Adair on the attack, drives it through the block and down. A sports corner kill for Jackie Adair. She's got 3 sports corner kills. She'll go back to serve. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Adair's serve. Off the net. Oh, what a job to dig that up. Nora Wiley dug by Adair. Outside it comes to Lucanen. Blocked. Dug up by Adair. It stays in. Bump set. Back it goes to Wiley. Off the block. Back in, but it won't be usable. Nora Wiley, a big-time hit and a kill for the Raiders.
Yeah, great effort by Macomb's defense. Not giving up on the play, diving for the ball. And QND, nice job to finish off the point.
Madeline Boyer back to serve now for QND. 20-20. An overpass set out of bounds just barely. They wanted a touch, they didn't get it. The Raiders lead for the first time, 21-20. They tied it at 1. Then they trailed by 6. They tied it at 16. It's been tied ever since, but they have a lead by 1. As service error by Boyer, we're tied at 21. Ladd comes back into the front row. Emily Westerhold comes in to serve for the Bombers. She served 2 straight points to get the thing rolling for the Bombers a little bit earlier. Tied at 21, the Bombers needed to go right now. Here's Westerhold's first serve in her second service, and it's another service error. Service error number 4 for the Bombers here in set number 1.
Yeah, we're starting to see more and more errors later in the set by both sides, making this game extremely close.
Back to serve for the third time is Annie Eaton as we start our third rotation here in set number 1. It's 22-21. The Raiders with the lead. They led at 21-20, and then now 22-21. Eaton serve, dug by Robinson. Out to LeKaranen, drops it short, dug up by Boyer. Out to Wiley, into the net. It's dug across the free ball. Robinson, Rexroth dumps it across, dug by Eaton, they're out of system. Bumps it out to Wiley, it's a good one, off the block and down. Nora Wiley gives her team a 2-point lead for the first time. Her 4th kill. Annie Eaton gets her 3rd service point. It's 23-21. The Bombers take a timeout. We'll take one as well. We'll be back. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Bomber Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
We're back, and here are we at Quincy Notre Dame, the pit, and it's turned into a fun one. We're back. I didn't even want to leave.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave either. This has totally lived up to the hype so far.
Yeah, it has been a great one. A bit of momentum here early, and it was the Bombers. Now it's the Raiders with the momentum. And Eaton must have landed outside the pole. That's the only thing it could have done. It's an ace for Eaton. She's got 4 service points in set 1. 3 of them are aces. And it's set point for the Raiders, 24-21. The Bombers have not lost a set, and they have now an ace for Eaton. The Bombers thought it was out. The officials did not. It is a 25-21 set win for the Raiders, and the Bombers have lost their first set of the season. Now the question is, can the Bombers respond? We'll find out when we come back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
I would have to say that is the most rewarding part of what I do, making a difference in people's lives. Taking care of the women from puberty on through postmenopausal stages and seeing them go through the phases and stages of life.
And welcome back here to the pit at Quincy Notre Dame High School. You're watching Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by McDonough District Hospital. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Peyton Hutchins is alongside, and Peyton, that game set, whatever you want to call it, one was everything we'd hoped it'd be as far as excitement. If you're a Bombers fan and you feel like you probably let one slip away, if you're a Raiders fan, you probably feel like, hey, this is ours now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we saw Macomb jump out to an early lead. We saw a battle bat by QND. QND obviously finished off the set 25-21, but, you know, it all comes down to errors. Macomb had a lot of errors in that first set, and that was ultimately the difference.
Yeah, for sure. The Bombers are a very good volleyball team, and I think they're probably as good in many respects, but they're not good enough or as much good enough, as much better to have the errors that they had. They had at least 4 service errors, which just takes you out of any chance to do anything offensively. You know, and then when you have a few hitting errors mixed in and your serve receive struggles a little bit, then it becomes a problem, right? And that's what happened to the Bombers down the stretch. We'll see if Coach Rexroth can right the ship at the game break, and we're ready to go with set number 2. Quinn Rexroth will start things off for the Bombers from the service line. Here we go. Bump set by Peters. Blocked again. Breckenkamp is going to fall. A block by Jordan Hines. And the Bombers again will take the opening 1-0 lead. Hines gets her second block.
Just like we saw in the first set, we're seeing here in set 2 right away, the defense from Macomb stepping up.
And another service error. Ties it at 1. Bombers had a side out in set 1, followed by a Rexroth service error that tied it at 1. That was the first and only time it was tied until 16 in set 2. Now we tied at 1 again with a service error by Rexroth, and back to serve one more time is Annie Eaton. Good pass that time. Back to Lucarin and off the block and down. A sports corner kill for Catherine Lucarin.
And nice job right there by Lucarin. Able to see that the defense was just a tad late, hit it in the right spot. Gives the Bombers the early set 2 lead.
Catherine Lucarin back to serve. Emmett Hall's watching. Let's go Bombers. The Bombers do need to clean up. And man, oh lie, set in the middle. And that was Eva Breckenkamp. And man, oh man, was that a big kill for the Raiders. And we're tied at 2.
Yeah, that job, that time, QND able to just find the hole, and Macomb's defense was a tad late on the rotation.
Joy Baker watching as well. Back to serve is Nora Wiley. Lucarin, Rexroth back to Hines. Blocked down. That is Breckenkamp with a block. She's got her second block, and the Raiders lead early in this one, 3-2. Nora Wiley has her 5th service point. Wiley serves it up. Robinson struggles again. Serve receive, a big problem. Adair tips it across. Near side on the attack from the right. The Raiders are dug by Rexroth. That was Lucarin from the back row. Again, tipped across. Robinson with a dig. And it's going to be a point for the Raiders. The kill by number 15, Tristan Pieper, her second. Wiley has her 6th service point. Joey Yelnick watching. Says, yeah, Hutch. Near side, Adair down the line, a sports corner kill for Jackie Adair, and it's 4-3 Bombers on the side out. Kelly Ladd leaves. Madeline McClure enters. Robinson goes back to serve. Joey Yelenick, of course, part of the staff at Western Illinois University and helps us out quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's a great help around everywhere.
He is a good dude, even if he didn't say hi to me and only you. Out of bounds. It hit the post, and we're tied at 4.
Yeah, nice job by Macomb after going down 4-2 early in the set, battling back to tie this set early.
Yeah, the gym is packed, Joey. You're right. It's loud in here, too. That's what's great about this place. Eaton sets outside, tipped across, and down. The kill for number 12. And she looks familiar. I'm sure she played last year, and I'm not able to remember who that is. I apologize, but she gets the kill. Does number 12. If somebody from QND is watching and can tell me who number 12 is, I'm probably going to be upset when I remember or when I'm told. Keck serving. A fake by the Bombers, an overpass, and it's going to be knocked right down by the aforementioned number 12, her second kill, and it's 6-4 Raiders.
Yeah, that time QND on the aggressive, on the offensive side of the ball, on the overpass, knocking it down right away to give them the point.
Keck back to serve it up again. She's got 2 points now. Out to Adair, blocked down. That one goes off the hand of Pieper. Pieper gets her first block. And we talked before the game started that the height for the Raiders and the defense that comes with that might be big. We didn't see it as much in set 1, but it is coming up huge here in set number 2. That is in, an ace.
No, I think they gave it to.
Oh, they're going to call it out. The official is going to override it. The guy had to dive out of the way to keep from getting hit. And he tried to call it in, and Coach Rexroth ran out there and put her foot down. What are we doing here?
I think we're trying to make a substitution, but to your point, Dwayne, about the defense of QND, didn't really see it much in the first set. It was Macomb's defense that was doing well, and now here so far in set 2, QND's defense stepping up.
Kate Stortzum on to serve. It's a long serve and out of bounds. Another service there, the second one of set 2. Lauren Hummel. Thanks, Z Houston 51. I appreciate it. Lauren Hummel. I remembered that name from last year, but I couldn't put the name with the face. So thank you very much. I think that's Zach possibly. So thank you. McClure tips it across. Boyer's there. Eaton, a slide to Boyer. Dug by Stortzum. That's not a good set. Surprised she got away with it. It was pushed across by Adair. Eaton, middle, now Hummel. Dug by Stortzum. Pushed across by Robinson. Now tipped across. Tipped back across by Adair. It's going to go out of bounds. And the offensive pressure from the Raiders, just too much for the Bombers defense right there.
Yeah, as you saw, the Bomber defense got caught out of sync.
Timeout, Bombers. We'll keep it here.
But to your point, Dwayne, QND's offensive pressure, it caught Macomb's defense out of sync. You know, we saw the attempt at the dig by Macomb, and it just went out of bounds. But you're right, the offensive pressure in this set, completely different from set 1.
Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's original local sports bar is Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink. Some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Want to say hi to all the fine folks at Sports Corner. They're playing the game tonight. We hope that you're enjoying this varsity matchup. If you want to watch the homecoming parade for Western on Saturday, they're reserving tables inside and out. It's going to be a beautiful day. You want to get one of the outside ones, but if you can't get an inside one, get some great food, some cold drinks, and what place to watch the homecoming parade than from a nice table with a back on it and everything else at Sports Corner at 124. The serve by Peters. Madeline McClure drives it out. Whoa, Keck got her both hands up. Hummel's going to drive it home. Nope, Robinson's there. Back out to Adair. Off the block and down. A Sports Corner kill for Jackie Adair.
Great defense right there by Macomb. Able to keep that ball from going down, resulting in a point for Macomb. Great job defensively by Macomb there.
4 Sports Corner kills for Jackie Adair. She goes back to serve now. Her serve low and dug and pushed across. Hit back across by Lucanen. Eaton's going to dump it across. Stortsum's there. Rexroth out to Lucanen. Off the block and down. Catherine Lucanen, a sports corner kill. Her third of the night. And the Bombers trying to roll themselves back in, down 9-7.
Once again, Macomb's defense able to dig out a ball that seemed like it was going to drop. Macomb's effort right now is tremendous.
Adair's serve is an ace. Her second ace. 4th point, and the Bombers are within one, 9-8. Jackie Adair ready to serve it up again. Short, Keck has it. Nice pass in all things considered. Boyer drives it down the line and in. A kill for Madeline Boyer, her second. Can you believe that? Only her second kill according to my stats.
Yeah, Madeline Boyer kind of been quiet so far tonight. Macomb's doing a good job of finding where she is at on the floor.
She's had some hitting errors, which has been part of the problem, and they've played good defense against her. Entrup serves it up now. An overpass. Nope, it's going to be knocked down. Quinn Rexroth gets offensive as the setter, and she gets a sports corner kill. That's her third sports corner kill, and it's going to be Emily Westerhold back to serve for the Bombers. Again, it's 11. We got 11-8 on the scoreboard. I've got 10-9.
I believe it's 10-9 as well.
We'll wait and see. I think it's 10-9. Eaton out to, that is Wiley with her 5th kill.
Yeah, Dwayne, they fixed it. It's now 11-9.
11-9. Raiders with the lead. Boyer back to serve. Breckenkamp back in the front row, and she has been huge for the Raiders. When she's combined up there with Nora Wiley, it has been deadly. Rexroth's going to push it back corner, and she takes advantage of that. Keeps them a little on their heels and out of system. Quinn Rexroth is going to get her 4th sports corner kill, and now she'll go back to serve. So it's 3 hitters in the front row for the Bombers. It'll be Hines on the right, Ladd in the middle, Luke Karanen on the left. It'll be Wiley on the left, Breckenkamp in the middle, and then the setter still in the front row for the Raiders, I do believe. It is. Eaton still in the front row, so only 2 hitters. And they only need 2. There's a big-time hit from Eva Breckenkamp, her 4th kill. And right back to the Raiders it goes, 12-10. Thanks for hopping into live chat. I want to see some Raiders fans in there. I haven't seen any Raiders fans in the live chat. Hopefully we've got some of you watching. There is Eaton's serve, so both teams have 3 hitters now. Ladd sent that one across. Keck a bump set. Out to Wiley, and she drives it. How did that get over the net?
And they scored the point,
They called a net. They called a net violation on Entrup, or I think, I don't know. I don't know how that ball got over the net.
I don't know either.
It didn't go over. It wasn't blocked, and it went back up somehow. It had to have been touched a 4th time, but it happened so quick I couldn't even see what happened. And there's an ace for Catherine Lucanen.
Yeah, just like that, Dwayne. We're tied at 12 here in the middle of the second set.
Lucanen back to serve it up again. Boyer, Eaton, out to Wiley, blocked down by Ladd, pushed across, out to Adair, and she tries to go down the net. Great idea, just couldn't quite finish it as she tried to tip it. There was a hole there, Peyton, but she just couldn't get it to fall.
Yep, great idea by Macomb right there. She tried to go for the tip kill over to the right side middle blocker. Unfortunately, just did not get enough on that, and QND takes the lead.
Wiley back to serve. Hummel back in the front row now. 13-12. Robinson with the dig. Adair is going to airmail that one out the back. It's 14-12. John Burton watching as well. That must mean Southeastern and West Prairie are done tonight, unless he's looking in between, but I'm guessing they're over. Wiley got the service point. That's her 7th. And what are they going to call?
They're going to call a net error. The Macomb Bomber attacker went underneath the net.
So it is a net violation. Back to serves Wiley. She's got 8 service points now. Lukanen. Ace for Nora Wiley. 9 points, 2 aces. And checking in for the Bombers is going to be number 6, number 6, Nika Daitner. She's going to replace Jordan Hines. I really think that's more of a let's stop the momentum with a rotation, with a sub, than it is a sub to fix the problem, if that makes any sense at all. Another ace for Nora Wiley. 10 points, 3 aces. And the Raiders running away now, up by 5, 17-12.
Yeah, Nora Wiley has been huge in the second set for the Raiders.
This has been the rotation that has gotten the Bombers. Adair drives it right off of Eaton. And Jackie Adair gets the side out for the Bombers.
Yeah.
Her 5th Sports Corner kill.
Adair with the great attack, perfect timing. Great job by Macomb right there.
I'll say hi to Noel Oliver checking us out tonight. Thank you for hopping in the live chat, Noel. There's Hummel. Drives it down the line and in. A kill and a side out for Lauren Hummel. Going back to serve will be the libero, Courtney Keck, for the Raiders. They lead by 5, 18-13. Timeout, Bombers. They show their first timeout, does the official of the second set. We'll keep it here and tell you this game being brought to you in part by Pond Plus. Pond Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pond Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repair and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, video games, and are located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Aeroco and Taco Bell. If you haven't seen it, go back, watch the TSSR Game Time Live, what was live opening of a Amazon mystery box. They have those available for $100. And do want to tell you they're also buying used cell phones and selling used cell phones at Pond Plus now. So they're becoming your all-around help. There's a tip across by McClure. Back set comes to Pieper, and Pieper is going to get the kill. Yeah. Tristan Pieper gets her 3rd kill.
Pieper right there. She was off balance, able to get it just over the front row for the kill. Pretty nice job right there by QND's Pieper.
QND up by 6 now. Keck, I thought that was going to hit the net. To Adair, dropped down by Pieper, dug up by Robinson. How she saved that, I'm not sure. Now Breckenkamp is going to be blocked by Madeline McClure.
That point goes to the Bombers, but Robinson was the reason for that point being able to happen. Great job defensively by Robinson.
Yeah, going down and digging that one up. Absolutely crazy. The Bombers get the side out, and as big of a need for it as you're ever going to see. They're down by 5. Storts them into serve. Eaton sets. Pieper tips it across. Bump set. Back row coming from Lucarin, and off the block and down. Boyer got a hand on it, and it was hit so softly that it just fell right behind her. Catherine Lucarin gets her 4th Sports Corner kill.
Robinson once again dating on a ball that seemed like it was going to drop.
Stortsom got her first service point of the match. An overpass, and Madeline McClure is there. Feeding the bear. McClure is playing some fired-up volleyball in the front row now, maybe more so than I've ever seen her. She gets a Sports Corner kill, her first, and the Bombers are back within 3, 19-16. Keck with a nice dig. It's going to be Hummel, and she drives it off of Stortsom. Hummel is going to get her 4th kill, and it's 20-16. Going back to serve will be number 7, Ashlyn Peters. She's got 1 service point, a defensive specialist for the Raiders. Peters serve. It was Adair. Bump set back to Adair. Block, dug up. Bump set. Adair again from the right side. She got under it and hit it out of bounds. They want a touch. They don't get a touch. And it's 21-16. Ashlyn Peters gets her second service point. Nice hard serve again. Stortsom's there. Here comes Adair into the net, a hitting error. And it's 22-16.
Yeah, back-to-back errors by the Bombers, extending this QND lead. Let's see what Macomb's got left in the tank here.
Peters drops that one a little short, and it's going to be an ace. Ashlyn Peters, fourth point, third in a row, first ace, 23-16. Bombers have to make a run here. Lucanen, Keck, Eaton dumps it down. Annie Eaton gets her second kill, and it's match points.
Annie Eaton even fooled me on that one. It looked like she was going to set it up perfectly to their hitter. Instead, she does a stip set attach, looking like Maggie Craker out there for Western Illinois, getting the point.
Out to Adair, knocked down. It's Annie Eaton at the front row. The setter gets the big block and the kill. The Raiders get the win, 21, 25-16. The Bombers get their first loss of the season in what has proven to be one of the biggest rivalries in high school volleyball, probably in the state, but especially in the area here, as the Bombers' perfect season comes to a close. And the Raiders have a big-time win, and the two student sections waving at each other as they walk out.
And yeah, it was a great game tonight. You know, both student sections made the atmosphere extremely electric. You know, I got to give a lot of the credit to the QND student section. They came out and they showed up tonight.
Yeah, it was a fun match, that is for sure. Not sure if Coach Rexroth will find her way up here or not. Justin Elby, how are you, sir? Would have been better if Macomb would have won, right? You know, I will point out that the team that has won the regular season matchup the last 3 years
has lost in the regional. Or in the whatever, in the postseason.
In the postseason, right.
Yeah.
So
that's good news if you're Macomb.
Yeah.
History has tended to repeat itself. You know, they've split the last 2 years. So QND took the opener here this season. I don't know what regionals and that's looking like, but I'm sure sectionals are somewhere along the line. These two teams will meet up again in a championship setting.
Chris Dewar setting up to do some interviews, and I'm sure he'll want to get Coach Rexroth. So I think that what we might do is we might just call it short without interviews here tonight. It's a ways up here. If you don't know how to get here, it's tough anyway. So, Peyton, I thank you very much for coming along tonight. It's awesome having somebody that's willing to talk a little bit and do some color commentary and run the camera, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself.
Oh yeah, this has been, like I said, this has been circled on my calendar for as long as I can remember. I knew this game was going to be important. As it turned out, it lived up to the hype, and I appreciate you driving us down here.
So, for Peyton Hutchins, I'm Dwayne Hulett. You've been watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We've got West Central Volleyball tomorrow night as North Fulton makes the trip, and then we've got all kinds of football on the weekend. We've got, should I pull it up? I'm going to pull it up so you folks. We do have Macomb, obviously. Macomb will be with us on Friday night. We'll get to watch the Bombers as they are, where are they? They're at Elmwood Brimfield on Friday night. So we'll have that contest on TSSR Game Time Live. John Burton, Tony Weston, and Dylan Albanese will be on the coverage for that. Other games that we'll have on Friday night, a whole bunch of I-8FA football games. And then we'll have also, of course, the wonderful Luke Little bringing Friday night's West Hancock game to you. He'll have Emily on the camera as West Hancock is at Knoxville. I believe that I will have the Illini West contest as Illini West plays host to Bureau Valley. The Illini West Chargers are on a 3-game winning streak. They went from 0-3 to 3-3. This one is a tough one. They've got to have 5 wins to get to the postseason. If they can get this one, I'd say they're well on their way to doing that.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I had the chance to call their game last week. Very impressed in the second half how they were able to overcome everything and pass the ball more, and that should be a fun one this Friday.
Then we have, as I said, Macomb and Elmwood Brimfield. Luke has West Hancock and Knoxville. Then we have 8-man football games. We have Chris up at Ridgewood and Cambridge, actually, as BPC makes the trip up to Ridgewood. Ridgewood most having ranked number 2 in the state against BPC. Then we have Wyatt with Aaron. Wyatt Reed and Aaron Christian on the call. West Central hosts Flanagan from Biggsville. Have that contest. Kenny will be at Scioto with Will. So Kenny Suter and Will Phelps will have you with the West Prairie Southeastern game hosting Galva. And then on Saturday, the biggest game in all of 8-man football. It's a huge one. 11 a.m. start. 11 a.m. start for Pawnee undefeated against Martinsville undefeated in I-8FA. And that team will probably be the number 3 team. The winner of that will be either the number 1 or number 3 team in the state, depending on how you look. They might end up being number 2 or number 3, but they're probably number 1 in playoff points, if that makes any sense to anybody. But we could talk about that a little bit later. So that's the weekend of football. As I said, tomorrow night from Biggsville, Wyatt will have North Fulton and West Central on the volleyball court. So one last time for Peyton Hutchin, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for joining us here from the pit at Quincy, Notre Dame. The Raiders get the 25-21, 25-16 win over the Bombers. The Bombers suffer their first loss of the season. These two will probably see each other down the road at some point. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again very soon.